Today we are going to be working on partitive division with fractions. So first I started with the definition of partitive division, and that is start with some number of things, give an equal amount of things to a fixed number of groups, and count how many things end up in one group. So today we are going to decide we have 2/5 of a cookie, and we are going to divide that by 7/3 of a recipe. So because we want to see how many cookies are in 7/3 of a recipe. Okay, right? So we're starting out with a set amount of group, giving it up to a fixed number, and then we're going to see how much is left over in the end. So to start, we drew a picture, right? We drew our 7/3 right here, right? 7/3 here, because that's what we're trying to figure out. So then we drew it down here where we have our 7 pieces broken up. So we are only trying to figure out one recipe. So we are going to really only just take one of these. We're going to just a sliver of it. So in that's really 1/7 of what we have, and it's broken up into the 5 pieces, and we have 2 out of the 5 pieces, right? Because if we to go back to our definitions of numerator, denominator, and whole. Whole is what you would have if you had 1. The numerator is always the number on top. The denominator is always the number on bottom. The denominator is what you cut the whole into, and the numerator is how much of that you take. So now over here, we're just trying to figure out how much is in one recipe. So we're going to take 1/7 and we are going to multiply that by 2/5, right? Because that's how many cookies we are trying to get. So we are going to multiply 2/5 times 1/7, but we're going to also multiply it by times 3 because it's 7/3 of a recipe. So we have to count that there's going to be 3 of them. So what we end up getting down here is 2/5 times 1/7 times 3/1, so it turns into an integer problem, or essentially it turns into 2/5 times 7/3. And if you look, you notice that the original problem was 2/5 divided by 7/3, and because we changed it into an integer problem, it shows that rather than having to go through all this process, we can just multiply by the reciprocal. So that's why we can do 2/5 times 3/7. So then we come down here and we have 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 7 equals 6/35. So we know that in a recipe there are 6/35 cookies in one recipe.